Okay, I see Sally, Brandon, Sangwon, Alan, and Justin. Okay, and Sue. Okay, let's start. Anyone has to leave early, then we can go first. Getting any updates from you guys. Alan, I know you're in South Korea. Do you want to go first?
Yes, sure.
Yeah.
Can you see my screen, Dr. Chae?
Yes.
So yes, I've been adding some more parts to the paper. I'm trying to be more specific related to the articles. Um, this was one section that I added. This was regarding the use of immune biomarkers with the digital pathology. Um, but this art doesn't really have, I guess, like specific data related to statistical data. It really more talks about how elk and ROS1 is also being used as a biomarker.
Wait, oh, wait. Let's
Mhm.
for the whole group, I want this to be learning
Yes,
experience, but so can you show me the title?
right. Yes. I'll start with that. Yes, this was the review paper regarding use of AI in digital pathology, and it would be a review article. So we're trying to figure out the current status regarding it, as well as the future perspective.
The role of artificial intelligence and digital pathology in the era of immuno-oncology. So yeah, there are more and more papers coming out, and I was really surprised that in AACR that the plenary session was the Path AI. So um, yeah, I think you should really listen to the plenary session.
Yes.
Maybe Sally, why don't you share the virtual ID access with Alan so that he can listen to the Path AI plenary. And there is a lot of reference articles that the speaker mentioned that you could sort of reference.
Okay.
So many papers are coming out. It's almost like the radiomics now.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So that's, I know we started this paper probably like 2 years ago. So
Yeah, it was
that,
about,
that-
yeah.
that's why we can't hold this longer because the more time we spend, the review
Hmm.
is gonna like this is so outdated, you know?
Hmm.
Okay, well, so for all of you, Path AI using artificial intelligence to interpret what's there in H&E slide and some of the slides with any immune or known genetic biomarkers are really becoming a major tool in understanding or predicting response to certain therapies. And here I'm focusing more on just immunotherapy. That's why um, we're doing this review. Okay.
I guess I can just start. Well, yeah. So this would have been the table of contents we have currently. And first one I was going to talk about. So one of the articles was talking about the use of the immune biomarkers. And so in the original manuscript, we had talked a lot about the PDL1, and as well as the tumor microenvironment. And then one of the articles I had found or that I had read up on was also talking about the ALK as well as the ROS1. But this article, I guess, because it is, I think that this one was from 2 years ago in 2001 or 2002. So this one really just started, it gave you more of a background information about what could be used and how it compares to the traditional methods. And so I just written this down, but I think, like you mentioned last time, it's still a bit vague, and the article itself doesn't really go into specific details about how good it is compared to um, the conventional methods. And so,
So, um, the way it's written is pretty vague. Um,
mhm.
can be helpful. So these are, so this is not, is this introduction or the main text?
This is part of the main text. And yes, it does seem more of like an introduction kind of paragraph. Uh,
So,
I thought that, yes.
so in the main text, when you say it's accurate or it can be predictive or whatever statement you make in the main text has to be supported by actual statistics. What's the
Hmm.
p-value? What is the statistics? What's the AUC curve? What is the sensitivity, specificity in out of how
Right.
many samples? So I know this is review paper, but at some point you have to have that
Hmm.
actual number so that it's not just, oh, it's accurate. But what do you mean it's accurate? That's how people know what we're talking about. You don't have to write numbers in introduction or abstract, but at least in the main text.
Hmm.
And every
Yes.
sentence has to be backed up by a reference paper.
Yes.
So when you say a recent
Yes.
study, in that sentence, you need a reference.
Right. Uh, yes. So I realized, yes, this is very vague, but I should just try to write this down, and then so I think this article might not have been the best choice to use. Um, yes,
So,
because this, yes.
Sally, with Imagine AI is one of the company that does this. So you can let Alan know their homepage, and from their homepage, you can have access to all their publication abstracts that were presented, and you can
Hmm.
cite those. And they may not be the only company. I know many other companies are doing same thing. So you have to
Hmm.
cite all of them.
Okay.
You don't have to describe all the result. You can just lump them together and saying the AUC ranges from this to this, and then you can cite, 3, 4 studies. So it has to be really like, yes, I've looked into all the articles. I have not missed a single article and really cite everything here. This is not like vague, oh, it may be accurate, may be good. Review
Hmm.
paper is comprehensive. You're doing all the heavy lifting for the readers so that they don't have to read all the relevant articles.
Hmm. Right.
Okay.
Yeah, I think this itself is not the best one, and then one of the articles as well. So this was also, I guess, a different company that used the method called TIL. Uh, Maybe this would be too summarized or um, not enough information as well.
I would put out from how many patients total. And then I would make a table so that people can see what the hazard ratio, p-value, and what are the group number of patient agents that were used. Is it Nivo alone versus any immunotherapy? So Lunit has their JCO paper already.
Mhm.
And Lunit has JITC paper that got just published this February. I'm the one of the first author. That paper is all solid tumor, mainly treated at
Mhm.
Stanford. And then there's Northwestern patients there as well. So you need to cite all those here as a text, but also have a table of the immunotherapy treated cohorts and how TIL was predictive, compare all the hazard ratio, number of patients, regimen, p-value, uh, all of that in a table.
Okay. Uh, organize something like that regarding that. Oh,
Okay.
yeah. And then this is what I had last time, and then looking back on it, it's talking more about how it should be used in the future as well. And because it was a previous article, I'm assuming that there would be more articles related to this now. Um, and so I guess with that, I would also need to have some more of the statistical proof related to this. But yeah, I just read kind of the background information regarding that.
Uh, so this is so here digital pathology. So I want you to reclassify digital pathology in terms of assessing immune landscape as well as uh, predicting immunotherapy response. So the two categories are number one, H&E slide based.
Hmm.
And everyone has H&E slide.
Hmm.
So using that, it's easy access. You're not using up tissue.
Hmm.
Um, and it's a bet, well, it's practical, feasible, low cost, you know, uh,
Hmm.
larger database. The second category would be multi-omics data, meaning now we have special omics. Special means
Hmm.
SPATIAL, special omics. And that's part of the Sunday AACR plenary session. And inside too, you can do, within an unstained slide, you can put probes or antibodies. So you can do like a multiplex fish, you can do multiplex immunofluorescence, you can do multiplex RNA probe, which is ISH.
Hmm.
You can do uh almost like a multi single cell level staining of transcriptomics. So it's more like a special transcriptomics. Um,
Hmm.
and it's amazing that you don't have to like lyse the cell and do single cell, but rather just in unstained slide, you can stain for all the gene expression mutations. Uh, and from that special omics data, people are now developing a database of immunotherapy received cancer specimens that I believe, because these are all colorful slides, and our
Hmm.
human eyes, it's hard to interpret, the complex association between all the gene expressions or protein expressions and the immunotherapy outcome. So AI is the best fit for these type of projects. So going back, it's H&E slide based versus special omics based approach. And
Hmm.
this is costly. One slide is over $5,000. And we're just starting to build database for this. I don't know if anyone published anything, but I think there are maybe a couple articles out
Hmm.
using special omics to predict immunotherapy response. And I think Mosaic study is the AACR plenary presentation in MOSAIC Mosaic.
Hmm.
And it's pioneered by a company called Aachen.
Hmm.
So you can talk to Dr. Iser. Dr. Iser and I went to the company's booth at AACR. So she has the email address. So you can request some of the abstract or the poster from the company directly. Uh,
Hmm. Is the company Okin as in OWKIN?
OWKIN.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah. So same thing. If you go to the company homepage too, they might
Hmm.
have listed all the things that they've done. Uh, and the other
Yes.
company
Yes.
that you looked at the other company called Path AI, right? Path AI.
Hmm. Hmm.
And it's not a company that predicts the immunotherapy response, but uh Sue's friend is working for a one Path AI company. Sue, do you know the name of the company?
Slide flow. Dr. Chae, can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah. Can you in the chat put the company homepage or whatever the information you have there so that Dr. Allen can have access to it? I don't know if there's a homepage though.
Okay.
So there are key companies. Path AI is another company, Path AI.
Hmm.
So best way is to go to the company website and learn what they're doing and try to summarize that in here.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay. Cool.
Uh, regarding that, I mean, a lot of the papers that I've been reading were really kind of just background information stuff right now. And so it's a bit hard to add stuff in, but I think I would have to kind of start with the AACR presentation that you had mentioned, and then kind of downstream from there. Um,
Dr. Chae, so sorry that I dropped. The company's name is SlideFlow, and I can definitely connect Alan with them. And right in, I saw a company called Deep Bio. I think they have been developing Path AI for prostate cancer and breast cancer for 6 years now. Yeah,
Mm.
they were pretty cool.
Deep bio. Mm.
Deep Bio, yes.
Oh, it's a Korean company?
Yes.
Is it a
Deep
Korean
Bio.
company?
I the spokesperson I talked to was not Korean, but I think they are a Korean company.
Oh, okay. Hmm. Okay. So most companies are focusing on better assessing the existing biomarkers. Like what's the Gleason score for prostate cancer?
Hmm.
You know, how do you best assess HER2 score from breast cancer? Gleason score from prostate, yeah. So that's very different from um predicting outcome. That's a lot harder. There's a
Hmm.
lot of noise and bias to it. Okay, so the lab
Yeah.
meeting is, you're not just showing. So this is for everyone. You're not just showing what you wrote, but if you have any questions about the article you read, you couldn't understand it, and you want to show us the data, you can always bring the paper itself, the figures. This is time to troubleshoot, okay? That's why one we're doing this. You guys all have different project, but we're doing this so that you guys can still learn from each other and
Hmm.
shoot together. So, okay. Anything else, Ellen?
No, not in particular, but yeah, I'll have to look at the ACR presentation and then branch out from there. I guess I kind of have a question. Like, how deep into the rabbit hole do I have to go within like the sources? Because obviously they always refer to a different kind of study or like the background information. Um, should I go as deep as possible within the track and then kind of
So it could be, well, I guess the deep meaning, you have to know what journal you're submitting, what's the word limit. You can't
hmm
just write everything and then try to shorten it. It's almost impossible. So you have to keep that in mind. So this part, I need this number of sentences, then I need to make it concise to this level. So you have to always think about that when you write. And
hmm
any detail, you can make it into a table, figure, whatever best describes the deep or the detailed information, and you can all
hmm
put that in the supplemental information. Because whatever
right.
is so detailed, put them all in supplemental. People do that. But uh it would not hurt. It's actually better. Let's say you have 10 supplemental tables. That's better
hmm
than a couple. It just shows you how much research you have done, how comprehensive the review is.
hmm
It's a bad review if you missed important articles in the field. The review means you've read all the relevant articles. Um, so there's nothing wrong being comprehensive, but if it's a space issue, use the supplemental information.
Okay. I'll keep that in mind going
Okay.
forward. Yeah, I think that will be it for me. Yeah.
Okay. Good. Keep up the good work because if you start your residency, then you won't have time to do these. So
Yeah,
yeah, have
I
your
have to
own
keep that in mind.
deadline.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, and then if you need help, uh, any lab member who wants to work with Ellen and actually write it together, reach out to him. You feel free to write the paper together. We always want to work together. It's just a matter of bandwidth, and sometimes it's just better to work alone. You work together,
Hmm.
there's a lot of issues. Like, you have to do a Zoom meeting, you assign things and that person can't be reached and got really busy. And so there's always pros and cons of working together. But I think if you want to be a collaborator, you have to know what the hurdles are, how to get over it and be a true collaborator. But our lab always welcome any help, uh, and make sure the person who worked hard get the due credit and all that. So
Mhm.
okay, Alan, I
Right.
keep up the good work.
Okay.
Okay, who wants to go next? Justin, do you have class?
Yeah, I have class at 10, so I can only stay in here for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Also, I've never met you guys. My name is Justin. I'm a first year medical student here. Um, yeah, I don't have too much to update on. Because I just got started in the lab. I just finished like writing my AOC proposal and applying for funding and stuff like that.
Hmm.
The only thing I've been working on is just kind of the first screening for the big radiomics project. But I currently have finished the patients I've assigned. So if anybody has any help, I'll be happy to help out. I'm done with school in 4 weeks, so right now I have to my time's a little bit limited, but in 4 weeks I'll have basically the entire summer to do research. So if you guys need any help whatsoever, I'd be happy to help out.
Nice, nice. Uh, so Liam, what's the plan going forward with Justin? Do we have a plan for, so Justin, what's your plan for the summer? Are you planning to come to lab, or what's your availability during summer?
Yeah, so I'll be here more or less the entire summer.
Hmm.
I'll be gone a couple weeks just because like I have family things and I have a trip planned over the summer. But for the most part, I'll be here in Chicago, so I could come to the lab. I think every once in a while I'll probably travel back home, which is like an hour away. But I'm more or less completely available.
Hmm.
This is
So
the only thing I've planned.
yeah, yeah. So Liam, what would be the best plan for Justin?
Yeah, so far we've his AOSC proposal has been based on radiomics, right, Justin?
Yep.
Hmm. Any updates on the proposal? Was it accepted? Any any updates?
Yep, it was accepted, and I got a little bit of funding for me to stay in Chicago in the summer, so everything worked out.
Hmm. Good. Congrats. Congrats. So I think there was a student, Peter Kim, who worked really closely with Dr. Yuri. He's our radiomics expert. So feel free to shadow Dr. Yuri. He actually does a lot of radiomics research himself. Uh, so maybe Liam, you can kind of introduce Justin to Dr. Yuri and have him shadow Dr. Yuri and kind of learn from him. And also, Justin, what you can also do is there's a computer science major student who's joining our lab, and she's right now coming to our lab. And I think her, her name is Gloria Kim. And yeah, she does AI programming. So what we're trying to do is Dr. Yuri uses his own, shareware program, but trying different AI program to run radiomics. So not only collecting the data, but if you're gonna stay whole summer with us, developing a AI algorithm together with Gloria and Dr. Yuri, because there are different algorithms. They just have different unique features. I don't know if you have interest in computer programming, but do you? Do you? Is it one of your interests, or
I don't have too much of a background in computer science, but I'd be happy to learn and help out the lab if that's how I could contribute.
hmm, yeah, try it out. I mean, it's all new to us, but I think being involved in the analysis part would also help you grow as a researcher. So Liam, why don't you have him work with Yuri and Gloria for the analysis portion, as well as, of course, continue with the data collection as well. So the idea is same thing with Path AI, and maybe you can start with reading the radiomics review papers that our lab wrote. Liam, can you send Justin the Sira Kang and Haesung Kim's radiomics paper? So Justin, you can start reading the paper and develop your interest. So okay, good, very good.
Sounds good. Thanks.
Yeah, good. All right, who wants to go next? Maybe Sally. Oh, wait. Brandon, do you need to go?
No, I
Maybe
don't need to go.
we-
I have afternoon classes.
Oh, okay. Well, we can do your first. It's okay. Oh,
Okay.
wait. Would you wait till Dr. Wangi comes? Yeah, maybe that's better.
Okay.
Okay. Then Sally.
Okay. So first update on EDW. So currently for first screening, we have around 610 patients left. So Justin, I know you're done with your portion, but if you want to help out more, we definitely have plenty of patients to screen. So yeah, we'll assign you more. But undergrads came back from break, so I'm sure the pace will get picked up again. And then second screening, they started with 145 patients and now they have around 12 left. So we'll have to go through the process of gathering all the like screened patients from the first screening so that we can enter those patients into the second screening. But as of now, because everyone's working on a different Google Sheets, we'll have to like come up with a process to pull those patients out so we can like put them into the second screening. But I think we need an idea on that, like on how that process will go. Because that's why I thought RedCap would have been a little bit better for this process here, but we could work with copying and pasting. But I just feel like one person should be in charge of doing that. Which I could take in charge, but I'm just not sure. Yeah, but we'll probably have like a meeting with all the undergrads together, possibly, and then or whoever's working on the first screening. So we can, I don't know. What do you guys think? What do you think would be the best idea?
So what's the question, Sally?
So everyone's working on a different spreadsheet. And one person I think needs to go through them all to like actually screen out the patients, because I think so far the whoever's doing the first screening, they're just coloring it red for those patients who we need to like screen out. So we just need someone to like compile it into one Excel sheet so that we can enter those patients into the second screening. But I'm just not sure what would be the best way to go about it. Just copying and pasting, or do you have any other ideas?
Yeah, so I think we can just so I think we can have the individual person copy it to like a master version and then have one person just filter that master version. Because it'll just be one function because I think they're putting O's and X's, so we can just filter it that way.
Okay. Mm, okay, so just have one main spreadsheet that everyone just copy and paste. I'm just a little bit worried because it's really easy to touch other people's data when you're copying and pasting different data, but yeah, we can try that. And then I guess that is the fastest way we could do it. Any other ideas or?
No, just so yeah, so Liam and Sally, you'll be the second set of eyes. We are trusting that people will do their job, but we all experience that the quality of data is a lot different, varies a lot person to person. And we can't always duplicate, have other people do the same thing and find the errors that way. But I think that's why collecting data, it's garbage in, garbage out. So if there's an error, we need some sort of error-proof system. So I don't know if I told this group of people. So there was a Duke University oncology investigator who was a Rhodes Scholar at Cambridge. Did I tell you that story? No? Anyone know that story? Justin? Liam? Sue? No? No? Okay. So if you have NIH grant, you have to upload all your raw data so that it can be shared. So investigator at MD Anderson, where I worked in Houston, read the paper and thought there was something not right. So he ran the same analysis with the raw data that was uploaded and finds out that there's something very critically wrong. Like there was a wrong that they found out that the Excel spreadsheet was off by one row. So from then, everybody's data was wrong. So there comes out wrong signature. And then it was a clinical trial treatment based on each signature. So everyone got wrong treatment. It was actual patients getting actual drug based on the genetic and transcriptomic analysis. So the whole patients who got treated under that clinical trial sued the investigator and the Duke University. And the whole story got in 60 minutes. You can watch it. And it's horrible that and what was more horrible was the principal investigator knew about this and didn't fix it for his fame. So his ego. So he was laid off from all his grants and faculty as a Duke in Duke, and he's a criminal, like so this is how research can go wrong, guys. Any Excel spreadsheet copy paste error will lead to a disaster. Okay. So I'm just giving you this as an example. Medical research has to be error proof. Okay, there's no doubt. Sometimes it's tedious job and it's laborious, but these are patients who some of them are not here with us on this earth, and we are trying to learn from them. Their biomarkers, their clinical outcome, everything is so precious. So anyone who deals with patient data, that's why we do all these city training and all this ethics course training. So I just want you to know that that dealing with patient data has to be error proof, and Sally is asking the right question, like what is the best way to do it error proof, and how do we do it? Yeah, keep asking that question and try to do it in the best way you can. I mean, it's not rocket science, right? It's copy pasting it. It's just ensuring there's no error when you compile the data. So okay, Sally, anything else?
Yeah, so um uh yeah, so EDW is ongoing, and then BC projects. So Eugene Kim, so he was waiting for Helion, but they weren't responding, so he wanted to submit it through preprint, or like he didn't like they're still under review. So he tried to at least submit it through preprint, but he had to submit it to like Next Archive first, and then submit it to preprint. So that's what he did. He submitted to Next Archive. So it's VC1 project is submitted. And then Emma's project, it's submitted to Helion.
Can you share a screen on that the project where it is?
Yeah. Yeah, so it's submitted to Helion. So it's under review. And then Dr. Yuni and my project, we could not or like yeah, our paper got rejected through TCR. So I think we're gonna try out Helion. So we're gonna fix a few things and submit it to Helion probably.
So do you
We'll show the
know
draft by next week.
do you know why it's rejected?
They gave us a few things to fix. And like they said there isn't enough data. That was one comment. And then yeah, and then they wanted us to like add some more figures, and yeah, but after that, Dr. Yuni said it was rejected.
Huh. Interesting. Okay, so here's the rule, and it's Sally and Liam, your role to follow it up. When article is submitted, uh the first 1 month, check weekly basis. Where is it? Because a lot of times they look at it and they find that the table's not right format, something is not right. They always return it. And unless you check, go into that journal, the website, you won't know, because sometimes it's emailed to me, or Chae lab meeting goes to a spam email, and we never know. We had sometimes it's sitting there for 4 months and saying, well, the journal didn't get back to us. They sent right back to us to fix some of the errors. So at least once a week, check, go into the journal, see where it is under review. Because sometimes it's you never know, they might just send it right back, or say the reviewers, we can't find the right reviewers, and they just don't even send it to the right reviewers, and they just terminate there. I've seen that too. So there's so many things that can happen, and knowing that real time is so hard. So whether you go in directly, Sally or Liam, or you ask the the lead author to give you update on weekly basis. Where is it? Did you actually go and check to see where the status is? And if the status is still under review after 2 months, right now, 2 months, send email to the editor or the editorial office, weekly basis. Can you give me an update? We need to publish this in a timely manner. Okay. Harass them with weekly emails. Once a week is fine. I think we had really abnormal turnout. Albert Curie case has been 2 years. It's not published yet. So there are some journals that are just really neglecting their duty. So, and then any journal has to be on preprint. I'll leave it up to the lead author to decide which journal. There's BioRxV, there's MedRxV, there's SRSN, right? There's the Lancet one. So you can choose whichever you want. That's not important. So make sure the lead author concurrently at the same time send it to both the preprint and the actual paper journal itself. So make that our SOP, and Sally and Liam, you guys can work together to make that happen. We can't just sit and well, it's submitted, and usually it takes a few months and gets outdated. Okay, go on.
Okay. And then lastly, Mention AI. So our last so we found that error in the H&E slides. So we're waiting for that process, right? So but Addie actually sent an email asking if it's possible for us to confirm the origin of few cases, and I was wondering if I should wait until we fix that error, or should I give this information to him?
Non-lung. Is it possible for you to confirm the origin of the following cases? 1620. Yes. So you can look at the origin. Some of them are just reading it. So the two things. One, clinically behaving as lung cancer. Treatment responding to lung cancer regimen. So clinical behavior, the pattern of spread. Lung cancer likes to go to brain, adrenal gland. So is it behaving clinically like lung cancer? Yes or no? Number two, pathology slide. TTF1 positive, P40 positive, P60 positive. All these immune staining biomarkers, are they consistent with lung cancer? Yes or no? If not, why is it not? Sometimes it just says poorly differentiated carcinoma of unknown origin. And it looks like lung cancer in the CT scan, so we treat like lung cancer. So, these are clinical questions we're asking, okay? So I would say there may be a clear-cut cases. Oh, this is like path report says consistent with non-small cell lung cancer, and Dr. Chae says this is like clinically lung cancer and treating with lung cancer regimen. Yes. So I would say most of them are really clear-cut cases. So I think Sally, you can review them yourself. You've shadowed in my clinic enough to know that. But if you run into any question, oh, I don't know, this might be unclear, then the right person to ask is Dr. Won-gi Woo. He's a lung cancer specialist, so he will give you an answer to all these questions. So you can review them with Dr. Woo, and then if Dr. Woo is not clear on any patient, this might not be lung cancer. Come to me. I will review that case with you. So it's just a few 17 cases. It will be a quick review.
Okay. So don't wait until we fix that error first, or with the H&E slide, like put the just
We don't have to wait. Oh,
Okay.
wait. How long does it fix? How long? Oh, what's the timeline to fix it?
Um, the last time I saw an email that Dr. Easel sent asking, let me see. Oh yeah, she sent an email saying that, you know, we're not able to include 26 patients because we didn't have H&E slides for them, but she didn't receive any response yet from Dr. Vitosh. So we're still waiting.
How do you spell his name?
Behtash.
B-E-H.
Mhm.
Nezami Betash.
Yeah, so Dr. has actually sent an email this morning again asking, following up on it. So
Hmm. Okay. I'm sending him another reminder. So let's fix those 26 slides first because you can't infer tissue origin from the PDL1 slide. It doesn't make any sense. Then those 26 patients, let's send the right H&E slide and redo the analysis. And still there's non-lung cancer, then let's do that procedure.
okay.
So explain to them that because they're not the H&E slide to begin with, the tissue originality check may be flawed. So we will, replace is it 17?
20,
26?
20, 26.
26 slides with H&E slide first, and then
And then,
rerun, and then we will look for the tissue of origin.
okay,
Yeah,
so we'll
just
do that first. Okay.
just reply, CC me with that. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. That's it for the projects. And then I'll show the presentation to Dr. Longi and you later separately.
Okay. Good. Okay. Let's do Sue. You have updates?
Um, I've been spending most of my time with EDW, and I have one project with Dr. Taeyong about DARTs. Uh, yeah, we're trying to connect and how to divide the manuscripts. And I do have one presentation about the journal.
Yeah, let's save your journal presentation for last. Like, are you prepared?
Sounds good. Yes.
Okay, good. So with Taeyong's project, how is that going?
So we said we're gonna connect after AACR, so we are yet to arrange a meeting I will reach out to her soon.
So are you going to write the paper together?
That's the plan. So we are trying to figure that out. So we already have the poster. So I think the method and the results are pretty straightforward. So I think intro and discussion will be the main part.
Yeah. So keep reading about the mixed responses and I think little bit deeper dive into the tumor heterogeneity question.
I see.
And I gave Dr. Chae a lot of good references about the tumor heterogeneity. So maybe you can reach out and get some references. So you can go deep into the molecular heterogeneity, which is driving the mixed response. Why do you get such a different response with the same drug? Because all the metastatic sites are genetically different. They have heterogeneous genetic makeup. And what are the papers that actually showed those phenomena? Maybe you can mention that all that story in your discussion. But I think this paper is unique because I don't think there's has been such analysis before. You can try to find any similar papers, but this paper will be very unique.
Mm.
I did the same analysis with the DART patients, and we got the ASCO oral for that. So Liam, please work on making the PowerPoints based on what Megan gave us so far on that project uh, for the oral presentation. We don't have to make the poster for that. It's just the PowerPoints. So
For
I
ASCO, right?
yeah, for the ASCO. I forwarded you all the instructions.
Yes.
So it's DART study, same thing. We just like a DART poster. What is the study? What's the endpoint? What's the cohort? What are the main cohort? The cohort, the previous cohort results that were published, kind of a background, and the waterfall plots from neuroendocrine, some of the cohorts that were already published, and then the mixed response. Because people need to know what the DART study is first. Yeah, so work on making the PowerPoint for the oral presentation. Mm. Okay. Hmm. And so now Dr. Hesong is not in the lab. So think about whether you have bandwidth to write the paper, the mixed response paper. Uh, or Liam, we can, because I for the DART paper, it's mm, the Sue or Taeyong can work on the DART paper. But I don't know. I will leave it up to you because this will be you could be the main writer of this paper. Uh, but it's up to you. If you think you don't have the bandwidth to sit down and write a paper as a main author, you can go to Seong. Uh, but yeah, think about what you want to do and let me know. So it's you or Seong can be the main author of the DART mixed response project. because Haesung's not involved anymore. So okay, you just let me know, and then I'll tell Seong, or we can set up a write a plan for that paper.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. Okay, so yeah, we'll get back to you. Keep up the good work. Okay, Jongwoo.
Yes. So I also did some of EDW data collecting,
Mm,
and for the project with Dr. Iser, she is trying to gather more TME data with Garden, and our goal is to write the paper before the end of May. So we are trying to make plans for that.
mm. So what projects are you doing with Dr. Iser?
The project is about compare the TMB data from tissue and blood, and um, calculating the ratio of the two data, and mm, finding out if it's related with prognosis of patients.
Mm. Okay. So yeah. So the deadline, and Sally and Liam, you can record this for this project. It's going to be the last day of Dr. Chong. So this is the tissue and blood TMB ratio project that Dr. Isa has been working on for the last couple years. It's been a very old project. So Dr. Chongwoo, Dr. Sunga was involved in collecting the data, and Dr. Chongwoo has also helped out. Now I want Dr. Chongwoo to work with Dr. Iser to actually finish writing up the paper. This will be a good project for you. And you need to read what is TMB, why is blood TMB important, and what does the ratio mean.
Mhm.
And the review paper I wrote with Stas
Mhm.
about the tumor heterogeneity would be the good start. So you can ask Liam to get that paper and read and understand the tumor heterogeneity. Uh, and the idea is if you have high ratio, the
Mhm.
blood TMB is higher, meaning there's a lot of metastatic clones that are not captured from the tissue TMB.
Mhm.
And you're dealing with a really heterogeneous tumor, and your response to immunotherapy is not going to be good. So the key is finding a paper that advocates that concept, that, you know,
Okay.
and the paper would be stronger if we can do clonality analysis with the Guardant raw
Mhm.
data. And I think Dr. Iso sent out email this morning. Liam, did you
Yes.
see that? Um,
The
and
Gardens.
yeah, I think so. So any update on getting the raw data from Guardant, or with Guardant not involved anymore?
I think we're waiting for some additional information from them, according to the email.
So do you know who's in charge of handling Guardant raw data from at Northwestern?
Oh, like the portal?
I don't know the data itself. Like, what is the process of us having access to the raw data? So again, this is the high priority for with the Guardant. Let's figure out who's in charge. How do we get access to the data? Is all the legal process done, or are we still waiting for the legal process to be finished? My
I
understanding
think
was
the
it
legal
was
process is
done,
done.
but then
Yeah.
I'm at a loss how to get the data. So let's figure out who that is, make a phone call, you know, do whatever you can um to to get the raw data, because this was relevant for Dr. Chang's project, that we want to look at the clonality of each patient's, not only the TMB, and correlate that to the TMB blood and tissue ratio. So let's work on that. And if you have to make multiple phone calls, please do. We have a lot of Garden MSLs, Shelly, and they can get you connected to the right person. Or the people who are in charge of EDW, maybe it's that NU data person might help you. So that's priority. Let's get some answers by the end of this week. And if we get the raw data, Jungwoo, you need to work with Stas. So
I see.
Liam, get him connected to Stas so that he can work with Stas to get the clonality data obtained. Um, yeah, and Dr. Liam knows, Dr. Isel knows the scientific background of the study. So keep reading, keep writing, keep analyzing the data together, and write up the whole paper.
Got it.
And I think JCOPO might be a good JCOPO might be a good paper. So write the paper in that format.
I see.
JCOPO. Yeah. Any questions?
I also read some papers by Dr. Christoph Klein, who did who lectured plenary session on AACR's Tuesday session, and it was about the different perspectives of metastasis. Yeah, and yeah, if time allows, I'll present it later.
Okay, let's shoot for the next lab meeting. Is this Sally, is this something you told him?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's is it the M0?
Yeah,
M0, yeah. So yeah, read the papers and do a journal club on that, because I think it's really important and relevant to our lab.
okay.
Okay, good. Let's go to Rachel.
Yeah, let me say, let me share my screen. Okay, so I think I have 5 things I have to update. First one is summary of Libo EP versus metformin the trial paper slide. Maybe Richard too busy to come for lab meeting, so I can help him to update. This one is Richard, what he did for the last 2 weeks So overall, five patient slot available at Northwestern Memorial Hospital, and then 2 patient slot at Wake Forest, and 4 from other outside hospital. So we collect the slide access number to send to Lunit. Yeah, this one is Nibo EP. And yeah, and then this one is Nibo metformin trial. Overall, 10 patients from Northwest our hospital, 5 patients from outside hospital, and 2 patients dies at Lake Forest. And I yeah in the 17 patients, 11 patients have surgical pass before trial. So I collect the slide access number, but I had a question about that, like little confused about that because 6 patient has only had 5 needle analysis. So and then we know they don't have surgical pathology results. So is it okay?
So tell me what the project is. I'm a little confused. What is the title of the project?
I think it is lead by Richard and Nibo EP and Nibo metformin trial. Yeah. And then he said you want to summary the pathology slides, and then we have to send to Lunit, the company. Is it right?
Yeah. How did you get involved in Richard's project?
Because maybe 2 weeks ago, Richard said he is too busy to collect the information about these Nibo metformin trial the patient information. So I met Richard in his lab 2 weeks ago, and then he let me do collecting data of pathology result, and then collect the pathology slide access number. Yeah.
So the answer is yes, you can do FNA.
Oh, okay.
And whatever the slides that we have, we can request the HNE slides of those patients. But how to do that, Dr. Liam knows the best. And I think Dr. Iser is also having difficult time, working with a new pathologist, what the best way to do that is. So it's a challenge. I think even if we made it so clear that this is what we want, we got the wrong slides for 26 patients. So I don't understand what's going on, but talk to Dr. Liam and Iser about the whole process and what the best way is to retrieve those slides that we want.
Oh, okay, will do. And next one is I started to writing down the method after F6 submitted the word long. So I would like to show you the method.
So what's the title of the project first? So I will always ask you this question for everyone whenever you present, because people don't know what your project is. You have to tell them this is the title theme of my project. This is why we're doing what we're doing, and then you can talk about the details. This is
Yeah,
not
right.
just one-to-one lab meeting. This is for us to all learn.
So title is clinical characteristic and survival outcome of long invasive mucinous adenocarcinoma, real world analysis. 387,197 patients. So I
Okay.
brought down method first, briefly wrote about the patient selection, what is the SEER program databases, and what registry I use. And this one is histology, what I choose at the time before analysis. And this one is variable, I put it in. I put at the time. And I also add supplementary because the criteria is very many criteria including. So this one is mucinous, and this one is non-mucinous criteria. And yeah, and the statistic analysis, I just briefly summarized. Yeah, and one thing is, one thing I would like to ask you about the SEER stage, because I at the time I divide the four all patients divide to 3 groups: localized, regional, and distance. And then localized is one category, but regional is SEER, they have their own category. So I capture the information from the SEER database. Is it okay add the picture in paper?
No,
No. So I have to write down everyone first, right?
you have to write down.
Everything.
You can make that a supplemental table, or you
Oh.
can put a reference. If
Oh.
you can if it's a website,
Oh.
you can put the website as a reference and just put it as a reference. So, if you want to see what's actually included in that subcategory,
Oh.
then you just put the reference there.
Oh. Makes sense.
But reviewers may want to look at what subtype you included. So it makes sense to put that in the supplemental information as well.
Oh.
But if it's a text, it cannot be a figure.
Okay. Thank you. And next one is this carries
Wait.
lysozyme.
What's so again for Liam and Sally, this is a mucinous steer paper. So mucinous steer. So who's who's the leader of the project? Who is writing the actual paper?
I think.
Yeah, Rachel is.
Rachel is? Okay. So we need a deadline for you to finish submitting the paper. Okay, so I'll give you the deadline. I won't. Usually for one paper to be published,
Mm.
if you're a full-time worker,
Mm.
3 months is
Oh.
generous. 3 months. If you already have the poster, 3 months to get the major finding to present at the scientific meeting, an additional 3 months to actually write up a paper and submit. If it's more than that, you can't do other projects. This is a simple clinical analysis. You're not doing a 2 years of laboratory research to write a paper. So it's very different. And Dr. Wangi is expert in writing these type of papers. So you can be mentored by Dr. Wangi.
Okay.
And I know Dr. Jongwoo can contribute as much as you want. And if Dr. Jongwoo wants to make a larger contribution, depending on how much he writes, you can be the equal contribution author too. It all depends on how much work and time you put into, and yeah, but priority wise, this is a retrospective analysis, though, so it's the bottom priority. The priority is always moving project. Clinical trial is always our priority. Dreams, last trial, the trials that needs to be launched, those are the first priority. And then a finished trial, like a DART trial, we have to publish so that people will change their practice. We don't have publication, people don't change their practice. So DART and many other, the Nivo, metformin, same thing. It's a clinical trial that's finished. We have such a difficult time publishing it. And I don't know what happened to Dean Pan. He was working on Nivo veliparib paper, and I don't know what happened to
Oh,
him.
yeah, that was passed down to Richard. So that was the last update that Richard gave, was that he got everything from
Mm,
Dean. So Dean is not involved in the project anymore.
okay. Mm. So since you're Rachel, you are working with uh Richard, why don't you help him finish up both paper, Nivo metformin and Nivo veliparib?
Love to.
So work with him and create a deadline, talk to him.
Yeah.
Because I want to go to the deadline system. Like we need a deliverable by the end of something. Otherwise, it's always going to be the second priority for whatever is going on. So work with him to create an internal deadline for submission for the both paper. For the Sears is the next priority because it's you can publish it anytime, but still you need to keep working on. So put in a 3-month deadline and work with Dr. Wongi to write up the whole manuscript. So I'll give you a clear idea. So if you're the lead author, we'll take it to the finish line, meaning if you submit to 10 different journals, get 10 different edits, you are the main author that does it. Other co-authors may not be reachable, and doesn't matter. You don't wait till they become reachable. You write the whole paper yourself. So the whole responsibility is 100% on you. And the other authors will come in as you coordinate, their portion. Can you help me with this part? And if they can't do it, they don't have the bandwidth, then you write that piece. It's not like you wait for them to finish. You work with them so that you're constantly working on them. What I don't like is, well, I told them to do this and I'm still waiting for them to finish. Well, you can't wait. You have to finish by the deadline. If that person can't do it, you write that part. So you are ultimately in charge. You are not waiting. If that person makes you wait, then that person is out of the project. So it has to be, you have to work towards the mutual pay, it has to be the working at the same pace. If that patient's, oh, I have to finish this and I can back to it, and that's way past deadline, then you can't work with that person. You just work on your own. So this is same for everybody. This is how you do the project. Deadline is more important. Okay, so let's do that. Let's put that in our project list. Liam and Sally. Okay. Next, Karis.
Yeah, next one is Carrie's. What I heard is I have to write down the ROI, edit it, and then send to the company. So I'd like to show you. Actually, I'm still doing the confirmation with Dr. Liam, so some part of I think you can check. This one is your name and institution title, email, phone number, and almost same with Tempest project. So just edit it.
Okay, go down. Okay, go down.
This one I edited, so I marked yellow color, nothing. Yeah.
Okay, go down. Okay, go down.
This one, I don't know what I have to put in, so I didn't put anything. This two.
Okay, available research would be the CARIS database. And I think they have a portal.
Oh,
Maybe Liam, you can look into it. Or Sally, because they were constantly talking about that academic collaboration, and they call it something. I forgot. If you can search the email and find what they call it. Individual would be this is a great project for Minjung, but I don't know when she's actually coming. So until then, uh just put my name because they and go back up. So here, right here, squamous cell cancer is wrong. You have to write non-small cell lung cancer. Also, I think no one has looked at the heterogeneity question in small cell. So let's make it small cell and non-small cell.
oh.
Both, yeah. And go down. Go down. Right here. Okay. I think this is good. So Liam, you can see if there's any typo or anything that needs to be revised. If you think there's nothing to be revised, you can help her submit it to Keras. I don't know if they have a portal or not, but you can talk to the Keras MSL to see what the best way is to submit it. It's almost like a placeholder. They say they won't do it right away. They're building the system now. So yeah.
Yeah, we reached out to the MSL and they gave us instructions on how to submit this in the portal, and it's already been shared with Rachel.
Okay. Okay, let's do it. Good job.
Thank you. And then about the Monica's project, I'm still waiting for her update, so nothing there. And then next
So
one,
what is Monica's update? What's the title of the project?
radiomics. Yeah.
So are you talking about the whole radiomics data?
Yeah, the phase one, the initial 160 patients that we finished with Dr. Yuri. Monica is currently trying to write up the manuscript, right, Dr. Rachel?
Yes, it is. And she's writing, but maybe she's too busy to continue. So I'm asking about the update, and then yeah, and after then I will update you.
So maybe Liam, you may be in a better position to ask her what her bandwidth is, whether she can write or she doesn't have any bandwidth to write. Then we will know for sure that we don't have to reach out to Monica. We'll just write it.
Yeah, so actually, Dr. Rachel had a Zoom call with Monica, and when they talked, it sounded like Monica is able and willing to write the manuscripts.
Yeah, we did Zoom meeting. I did Zoom meeting with Monica like 3 or 4 weeks ago, and then yeah, she still want to continue writing the paper. So
Okay. So after Monica, Liam, who's the radiomics lead? Did we say Seong?
Yeah, so it was kind of split between Monica and Seong. Monica was in charge of the analysis with Dr. Yuri, and Seong was in charge of the analysis with Picture Health. And I think if we need to find a backup person, I think Dr. Rachel might be most suited as of right now, because she'll be here in person.
Okay. Okay. So Rachel, your job is to not just Dr. Yuri's project, but also the Picture Health and everything related to radiomics. I want you to know every detail about the project.
okay.
And you can work with Monica to finish up the paper together.
Okay, we do.
But you have to contribute, write a substantial portion of the paper together. And create internal deadline amongst you. And ideally, it has to be before Monica comes to the United States.
Okay.
Because she'll be busy doing the
Yeah.
residency, right? So, and do you know what journal? Liam, do you remember what journal?
Journal, I do not.
So let's keep writing. So for this project, this is going to be one paper showing tumor response and immunotherapy toxicity. One paper, Dr. Yuri's harmonization model. And let's shoot for JITC. And if it doesn't get there, then we can do JTO. If it doesn't get there, we can do JTO CRR. We can't get there. We can do clinical cancer research. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, so I think this you so I don't know if Monica will have bandwidth to do all the revisions and do the heavy lifting of being a first author. So if she has, if she's not available, you should step up and really move this project forward. And yeah. Okay, let's do that.
Okay. And then last one is journal club, so I can reading.
So are you ready for this journal club?
Yes, I did. I am.
Okay, good. So let's do that after Sue. Uh, uh, good, good, very good.
Yeah.
Let's do Dr. Wangi because he's here.
Hi. So I want to first share the review from JHLT. Yeah, this is about the paper, our pre-TM malignancy and UNOS data. JHLT recommended to transfer to JHLT open access. Yeah. But I think it is still not, it doesn't have an impact factor yet because it is a kind of new journal. But I think it is important to publish this project in under their consensus of society, because JHLT and JHLT open will be a kind of most interesting part, leading group in lung transplant and heart transplant. So the article processing charge is normally about 2,000 something US dollars, but they said they will give discount for this year about 50%, something like that.
Good.
So I think because if we go, and their review was very, I found the result yesterday night, and it was very, they detailed reviewed our things, and I think they think that this is their conclusion. It is too premature for publication, and they mentioned about the disease-free intervals between pre-TM and transplant, but they know that we don't have their kind of data in UNOS
we
data
don't.
set. Yeah, and other reviewers suggested to do and multi-center studies, which we are doing right now in DREAM. So not multi-center, but single or second center.
Yeah, we have a
Yeah,
second. So we can say all this in our discussion.
Yeah.
There's limitations, but that doesn't mean we shouldn't publish this. This is still reportable, and the plan is we'll do multi-study. It takes time to enroll and mature the data, but at least this is gonna not only our center, it's gonna be us and Vanderbilt, and more centers will come. So I think we can tell them we're working on it.
Yeah. So do you think is it okay to go transfer to JHLT open? Because okay.
Okay.
And other
then I know it's 50%, but see if when you submit, there's check for a Northwestern discount sometimes.
Yeah, also I think the Dr. Bara will be the member of the group, so maybe there will be more discount. I think so. So I will share and I will finalize but it's very long. 3 reviewers review this. Very
Wow.
intense review. So it means they really looked at our report, I think.
Yeah.
So I think it's good news. So I will finalize reviewer responses within 2 weeks.
Yeah.
So and I will share the revised manuscript, and I will ask further questions for you and Dr. Bharat. So is it okay with this?
Awesome. Yeah, that's a reasonable plan. Yeah, I like the fact that they liked our paper. So it's a rejection, but it's suggestion to transfer.
Yeah,
But it will
to
be
JHL open.
but it will be new reviewers, right? Then
I think they gonna use this review same. And I think so, because they are on the same, reviewing editorial board members. So I think they will quickly, proceed on the next project, next process, I think.
Oh, then it'll be a faster. Yeah, then that's
Yeah, we don't need to wait for it's been about 2 months, their review process, but we don't need to wait for too long. So,
I see.
so I will tell them that we wanna transfer to the open access journal, and I will let you know the process, the follow
Good,
process.
good.
Okay.
I have two things to mention. One, these open journals are becoming too expensive, and
Yeah, I know that.
there's a new journal, Cancer Medicine.
I don't know
They
that.
charge like 4,000,
Ah,
4,600 something. It was ridiculously high.
wow. Yeah.
And I know Dr. Daniel Shin from UCLA just published there. Uh, and UCLA has huge discount, it looks like. So he said he's paying much lower than that. And I realized that Dr. Minjung Kim from our lab just published there, and I got a bill from Cancer Medicine. So Liam, I think I
Yeah.
CC'd you on that. Please work with the Cancer Medicine Journal and Northwestern Cultural Library. Find out if there's a discount for our institution. And see if we can get a new bill. Whatever discount you can get. I think it's too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. Work on that because I didn't pay it. Dr. Minjung forwarded me the bill from Cancer Medicine. So work on that and let me know if there's no zero discount, then we just have to pay it. And if there's no discount, then just tell Susie to pay it with my credit card. But yeah, these papers are becoming ridiculously high cost.
Oh, yeah.
4,000, like, so many lab members can go to conferences, and learn, and it's just to
Wow.
publish, yeah. Okay, that's number one. Number two, the very first case report of Albert Curie, we are still having trouble getting it published, and we're getting a lot of rejections. Maybe because we're sending it to a lot of oncology journals. Now we have to send it to surgery journals, I think. So
So you
it's
mean the one that Tariq wrote?
no, this is written 2 years ago.
Okay.
And Dr. Eugene O is the first author. Do you have recommendation for a case report? And then I think we did a mini review too. So it's a case report plus small mini review. What would be the good surgical journal?
For surgical journals, the in thoracic surgery, there are about 3 big journals. The one is JTCBS, but this is from AATS, American Association of Thoracic Surgery, and their review process is extremely tough.
Mm,
But Dr. Barat is the key member, so maybe they can accept. That is the best one. The second one is EACTS, European Associations
mm,
for Cardiothoracic Surgery. These two are the main journals, and it is subscription journals, no article processing charges.
mm,
These are good. If they are rejected in those journals, then usually thoracic surgeons publish their study in JTD, Journal of Thoracic Disease.
mm,
It's from Chinese Association of Thoracic Surgery, but
mm,
it has about 1,500 APC, I think.
mm,
Yeah, these three are good, and JTD they will accept this, but I think we can go further for JTCBS and EACTS. That will be much better.
mm. Okay. Why don't you do this? Liam, why don't you link Dr. Eugene O to Dr. Won-Gi Woo, and so that maybe have Dr. Eugene O send Dr. Won-Gi her manuscript so that maybe Dr. you can kind of skim through it and
Yeah.
see what journal will fit the best, and I will just defer it to you to so tell her, maybe give her like the order of your preference that might be best for this journal, and then if not, just submit and just share that your recommendation with me once you told her what to do, because she needs to submit it to somewhere fast.
Mm,
Yeah, let's just do that. It's been sitting around for 2 years.
okay.
Um, okay, yeah, I just need your help on that. So
Okay. I will
okay,
talk with Dr. Eugene, and another project is IMA, non-IMA project with
yeah,
campus.
yeah.
I had a meeting last week and we shared the timeline, and the campus requested to their timeline for ASCO is next Friday. So I am finalizing the poster. So
Mm,
I will share next RAM meeting and I will share it with campus next Tuesday. So that
mm,
is my plan. And one thing we updated, and we are now doing manuscript writings. And now I finished its introductions, and Dr. Soin Kim is doing discussion sections for differential gene expression. So we will update you, and it will take about, I think, about 4 to 5 weeks from now.
mm,
That is, I hope to finish before the ASCO.
uh-huh.
And the update is I share this with campus.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can see the right side, the figure, this is data from Dana-Farber Center, same as mucinous and non-mucinous. They did survival analysis according to first line treatment. So immune checkpoint inhibitor monotherapy and chemoimmunotherapy, they divided by first line treatment and compared mucinous and non-mucinous.
Mm,
And the left side is the number that we have, which is similar. Some are lower, but we have more data about non-IMA.
uh-huh.
So I asked Tempest to send us these kind of Kaplan-Meier survival curves according to immuno. So maybe we can add this to ASCO or Warlong. So it depends on. So we
Depends
hope
on
to add.
when it
Yeah,
becomes
yeah.
available. Yeah.
Yeah, they said they will send it this week, within this week. So I will add this figure and show you next week.
Yep. Sounds good.
And another, I today morning I mentioned the Dr.Chae, who is a associate professor in Yonsei, pathologist, and I talked about, because she published a lot of IMA papers, and it is one of the main paper that we read. So can you see this email?
Yeah.
Yeah, so she gave some ideas about that. So he understands that the she's more biologic, so
Oh.
she gave some idea about hypoxia related gene signatures. So I think she is a good
Mm.
commenter for this topic because she has a more deeper understanding about IMA, and she studied
Mm.
IMA more than 10 years. So
Wow.
if you are okay, maybe we can
Yeah,
add it.
we should invite her as a co-author, actually write the
Okay,
paper
okay.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I will share our result with her together and receive her feedback and add and see how we can do better. So
So where she's in
she's
Gangnam
in, yeah,
Severance?
she's in Gangnam Severance.
Uh,
Yeah.
so yeah, we could, because we have the M2 CD8 signature, and you can do all the things that she wants to look at too. We can
Yeah,
ask
okay.
us to, yeah.
Yeah.
Uh,
So I will link her idea. I will share this idea with Tempest again later.
Mhm.
And yeah, I will give you a feedback and yeah.
Yeah. So maybe talk to her also. We have two, I guess the hypothesis is even IMA, there's one
Mm-hmm.
that is more indolent, right? More GGO
Yeah.
predominant,
Yeah.
and IMA more solid, and they spread to bone and other places soup faster. So not all IMAs are same. So
Yeah.
I would say because I envision a paper that if there is, I don't know, if we show anything that is bimodal, then we are
Yeah.
able to say there's one type. The GGO and solid is like one possibility to explain it clinically, but is there a biological marker? I don't know, M1 MUC1 versus MUC6. Is there
Yeah.
any biomarker that is, I think, more.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think both can be immune cold because they're like
Mm-hmm.
GI cancers anyway, but in terms of their aggressiveness or metastatic potential,
Mm-hmm.
what signature gives you, so you call it sometimes EMT signature is
Mm-hmm.
linked with higher chance of metastatic distant metastasis. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe there's a group with higher EMT
Mm-hmm.
uh signature versus not, and that might correlate with higher GGO than so because we have data and I don't know what Tempest is doing with radiomics, but they are collecting data too. So we
Yeah.
also ask them, among these, do you have some radiomics data that we can assess the GGO versus solid um um
Yes.
yeah, something we can talk about that too. And
So last
yeah,
week I talked about that with Tempest
yeah.
and the Calvin Chow
Kelvin Chow,
is
yeah.
yeah, he told me that it seems interesting. They will review in their panels and they said it's better to submit new proposal to do that kind of study.
uh
So yeah, I will write the proposal for that topic and I will send it to them and I will wait. I mentioned about radiomics and other data. If you have, you can share with it and it will be much better study for IMA specific. So
yeah.
they said, but they said they have data, I think, but they said they need new proposal and new process. So okay. So I think we can do until November, until ASCS abstract, maybe.
Yeah, radiomics, yeah.
Yeah. So I will talk with it again next week or another meeting with campus.
Mm, yeah. And then so let's think about, because um so Dr. Wongi, maybe you can do this with Rachel. One,
Mhm.
you know, because now we have a lot of radiomics paper coming out, and a lot of them are using NIH grant.
Mhm.
And so I envision a database link cloud that these DICOM files are uploaded, just like the TCGA H&E slide JPG files.
Mhm.
So, and we know that pathology slide, the pixels are a lot higher than radiomics. Actually, the radiomics DICOM files are not that hard. Uh,
Yeah.
yeah, so it's a doable project to find a good source. And if the paper contains treatment regimen, survival outcome, it's great. So there are such database out there that we just don't know. We could go
Mhm.
and look at those papers and find the database and see what's downloadable. So this is how we started all this transplant. We didn't know that UNOS would give us this data this easily. So we could tap into the radiomics data, and whatever model Dr. Yuri developed, we can validate that. But I think I like the GGO solid, and then try to like within the radiomics features, can we see that as a marker to predict clinical outcome? Doesn't have to be therapy outcome, but we can begin, with and it's gonna be a daunting task, but kind of understanding where the data is, what we can do. And because also Gloria is joining our lab, the radiomics, if you look at the radiomics, the raw data, it's just, radiomics traits, the signal, it's all numbers. It's a variable and number. So it's something you can break down into a more like a logistic regression modeling type of work. And the picture health has the click seg, which is, we still have to teach them what's tumor, what's not tumor, because but anyway, just preliminary search for the database.
So you mean the IMA specific or whole lung cancer?
So I would say IMA specific at the moment,
Okay.
but I don't think there's IMA specific data. So we have to look for
Yeah.
whole lung data.
Okay.
And whether they annotated IMA, if they didn't, it's okay. We will just look at the GGO percentage and whether that affects survival. Because there's a lot of surgical cases that are just wedge resection for GGOs, and they probably live normal lifespan. But what's the difference of GGO, same size tumor, but GGO versus non-GGO, in terms of recurrence risk? Has anyone looked at that? I don't know.
I think the Japanese clinical surgical group published a lot of data from RCT or prospective studies on that. And they are doing also pure Z0 RCT for the monitoring and the surgery. So they are leading groups and they have their own data, but they don't share it.
I see.
So I think in terms of ZZO,
So I think that's surgeon's approach, and you're a surgeon. So how about you do a journal club, kind of showing us where things are with the GGO research? And from our group, Dr. Sam Kim is always interested in GGO, but my interest is GGO becoming a dream candidate,
okay.
Like when it becomes bilateral and doing more wedge or doing more radiation becomes difficult, how do you best so when it becomes stage 4 or bilateral GGO, it means it's spreading through the airway, or it just happens to be multifocal GGO, but when it's spreading fast, I don't think it's like popping up really fast. I think it's actually spreading. So I would want to focus more on surgically unresectable GGOs.
Okay. Stage 4 GGOs.
Yeah, and I don't think there's a lot of data, but
I think
so let's find out what the data is, and then we can say among them, what's the biology difference where there's GGO predominant versus because if you look at Albert Curie's lung, I think because we have to understand this ourselves. Like one part is pure GGO, and one lobe could be all consolidated. And we are thinking, is this a mucus plugging that led to collapse of the whole lung? And because sometimes the consolidation might just look like a lobe, and that means that's not the whole tumor. It's probably a some solid portion obstructing airway leading to, but post-obstructive pneumonia or something, then how can AI help or teach AI to better classify all these? And how would that affect overall survival or better classify different type of stage 4 lung cancers with the intention to better select dream candidates? So we're more interested in the advanced stage, and but I know a lot of surgeons are doing the earlier stage. But let's understand the earlier stage. Let's understand where the field is, and maybe you can do journal club on that, and then we can see what data is available for more advanced stage scan, DICOM files, and the clinical outcome, all that. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I will look for and I will give you feedback and I will prepare and let you know. Okay.
Yeah. Good.
And for other two articles about metastasectomy, I shared it with Dr. Barat about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I think he's busy, so can we just proceed on submissions or wait for longer time?
No, I just say, we just email, we're planning on submitting on by the end of this week. And if you have any comments, just let me know and just CC me. It's okay. We can wait.
Okay.
Yeah, but at
And
least we can
also
tell it. Yeah.
the pan organ analysis topic with Dr. Kim, Dr. Haesung, it is also finalized. So I shared it and I will wait for the response until this Sunday. So maybe, so do you have any kind of candidate journals for that?
Oh yeah. So show me the title again. Show me the
Okay. Let me show you just. Yeah, this is title.
Oh wait. Go up.
Oh,
Go
yeah,
up.
okay, sorry.
Up. Rejection and post-transplant malignancy risk. Solid organ transplant recipients. How about we put the association between rejection? Because we're yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's better.
Okay.
So this is, would you say this is a transplant journal, or would you say this is more
I think it's more broad.
broad? Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe
How about like public health?
public health. Ah,
So JAMA is interested in public health. So JAMA oncology
okay. Some
is
oncology.
JAMA
Okay.
oncology, Lancet oncology. There's
Uh,
JAMA
then
plus.
I
Yeah.
will send the abstract to JAMA Lancet. Like
Yeah.
Lancet doesn't respond, but JAMA responds.
And
What could you recommend 3 or 4 journals so that I can reach out? So JAMA.
what about nature? Doesn't nature
nature?
nature communication, does that do they accept epidemiology papers?
I don't. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, because this is a pretty broad topic.
Yeah. JAMA. What about e-clinical medicine? This is kind of subjournal of Lancet.
Mhm.
Impact is around 8 or 10, I'm not sure.
Oh, what is it again? I'm sorry.
E-clinical medicine.
E-clinical medicine.
Yeah.
It's a Lancet journal?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, I saw it before. Yeah, it's also open access.
Yeah.
Yeah, ask them. It might be.
Okay. JAMA e-clinical medicine.
I think they have JAMA Public Health or something, or epidemiology.
Or just American Association for Transplant.
Yeah.
Okay.
And the
So
backup is JAMA Network. JAMA
JAMA
Network
network. Okay.
is also a
Open access.
yeah, kind of back. They broad range. They do a lot of public health work there too.
Okay.
So let's send out, are you interested? And then among those respond, we go with the high impact journal first.
Okay. Okay. Yes, so this is I think these are all, and next 2 week I will show you the ASCO abstract from my topics. Yeah, and let you know the response about the abstract.
Oh, another one is JNCI.
JNCI. Okay.
Yeah, JNCI is another good journal that is interested in population-based study, JNCI.
Mm-hmm.
And JNCCN is another
Oh,
journal of National Comprehensive Cancer Network. I think they are also interested in these issues. So ask them, and they are pretty good journals too. So yeah, so ask all of them, and let's go by the impact.
yep.
Okay. Anything else?
Nope, I think.
Okay. Very good. Very good. Thank you for your hard work. Let's do, so we have journal club from Sue and Rachel. Okay, before we do that, Liam, do you have any update?
Yeah, I just have a
You can
couple of
run, yeah, some of them, if you can run it by me separately, you can do that. But if there's something as a project, you can do it here, then you can do it here.
yes. So let me share. So Dr. Chase, so this one, probably I can talk to you later, but just the ad board invite from Uncle Host
Oh, yeah,
for
yeah.
May 20th.
Did I respond? Because I'm gone.
Yeah, so you're not able to, right?
Yeah, yeah. So you can respond.
You,
I am out of
it's
town, and
even if it's on Zoom, right?
I don't think I can do Zoom because I'd be traveling, right, Sally? Am I?
Yeah.
Yeah. So to
Yes.
tell them, I'd be happy to consider other events or other dates. Just to respond.
And this one is also pretty brief, but there was an expense report for publication fee that was sent back. It was for $600, and the reason was here.
What does that mean?
I think so. When we submit, like when lab members who visit us for 3 months or 6 months visit us and publish like abstracts, posters, or papers, we've typically been listing their affiliation as Feinberg School of Medicine since the work was conducted while they were here. And it's never been a problem in the past, but this is the first time I'm seeing it getting flagged.
But I'm part of the author, right?
You should, yeah, obvious, of course.
So I think the answer is so the students who worked with me remotely,
Mhm.
um, and as long as Dr. Chae is the corresponding author and he is the faculty,
Mhm.
it should have no problem getting and then affiliation. And they're not faculty, they're students who wrote the paper with Dr. Chae under Dr. Chae's mentorship. So that's how Dr. Chae assigned the affiliation. But it should not matter whether they're faculty or not. So
Sure.
ask Susie why this happened and who to talk to and how to fix this.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one email from Uncle Host regarding two patients. The question was here.
Yeah, the answer is always just proceed. Okay to proceed.
Okay. It's the same thing. And then from Picture Health, during a meeting, we talked about a potential VA collaboration, and you wanted to connect them. Just wanted to follow up on how you wanted to proceed.
Oh, so VA investigator is currently doesn't have bandwidth. So once the VA investigator, has more time, the investigator will reach out to us.
So just put it on hold for now.
Yeah.
And then just wanted to go over the Dart desmoid comments. There were some things that, or we probably need to like confirm everything with you before we submit. So let me just share the. So these are the comments and responses that we have from Megan so far. So the first question is, they wanted to know the prior therapeutic history for each patient and whether they received local treatment for symptom relief. And Megan's response was prior treatments have been added to supplemental table 1 and no patients required palliative RT while on protocol therapy. And the supplemental table therefore now looks like this. Does that look okay?
Yeah, they look fine.
And then going back. And then they're also asking for a table of those who developed IRAEs and clinical course might be useful information, especially for those with serious immune-mediated side effects. And this is the information that Megan provided us with so far. But if I wanted to ask you how much information you wanted and how you wanted to present this information.
We don't have access to patient charts. So especially those with serious immune-mediated side effects. So these are all serious, which is grade 3, 4 AE. You can. So grade and what is the side effect and at what time at cycle. I think you can just make that table. That's it. I don't want anything more detail.
Okay, just the grade. And
Yeah, time of onset. I don't think we have duration here. I don't know we do. Maybe there is. But usually if you have grade 3, you stop treatment. So, or you come off the study sometimes. So hard to know. We might be able to know whether, okay, whether, so whether it led to treatment disruption, interruption, or whether it led to treatment discontinuation. So that's yes or no, right? So we could ask that to Megan and add that. Yeah, I think that would be important.
Okay. And then question number 3 was the statistical design, wondering what was the rationale set to the alternative hypothesis of ORR as 30%. This was Megan's response. Just wanted to get your input as well.
Yeah, that's the right answer. It's a political decision. Leadership NCI.
Also, this comment wanted to see how you wanted to respond.
So we could say, for future studies, in the discussion, we can do more desmoid related biomarkers, including beta-catenin related markers or something, just with like a few words. Yeah.
Oh, so say this in the discussion section, right?
Yeah. We don't need to cite any studies. They're just
Okay, just say we
can do
suggest
future studies. Yeah,
we
future
can.
studies may include or something.
Okay. So that was it for the first commenter. This is from the second reviewer. This is question number 1. This is just a minor like wording thing, so I can just edit that. This one, number 2, what are your thoughts?
I think we should revise as such.
Okay.
But I guess did it show increase in survival, not just PFS? That we have to. So gamma secretase inhibitor, nirogacestat. It's a New England Journal paper published in March of last year. So let's see. Objective response 41 versus 8. There's 7% complete response. I don't think they published any. The primary endpoint was progression-free survival. Yeah, the hazard ratio was 0.29. So yeah, so that's just. I don't think we have OS data yet, but then desmoid are slow growing. So we can cite the 2 trials, saying that those are being used. However, they're not cure. So more like these are being used, but still I guess what's the right word? Not all patients respond to it. Most people have progression on those therapies. Okay.
Okay. Number 3, this is again just some word style stuff, just adding how many lines of prior therapy, so I can just find and add.
Yeah.
And question number 4, also wanted to ask your input.
So from pathology slide, can we separate those two groups? Abdominal mesenteric arising from. I mean, we remember we looked at the pathology slide. I don't think we can.
Yeah.
Yeah, so just say practically, it would be difficult to. Yeah, practically, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's too much to. I don't think we have access to the medical records. We only have the pathology slides and. Well, we do have resist. And I don't know if they might have, so how many patients are we talking about, Liam, here?
Just 16 patients.
Okay, well, it's 16 is doable. So you have access to Rave, right? Dart?
So I do not. I only have access to Northwestern Rave.
Oh, not this study?
Not the central, yeah.
So Megan has access maybe. So maybe tell Megan to, so the baseline, just the baseline resist evaluation. I don't know how she can extract that, but it's a resist evaluation. So if the resist has intra-abdominal mesenteric versus the abdominal wall mass, we can at least interrogate the data. So the resist measurement or the scan, CT scan summary of the pre-treatment CT scan, we can collect each patient data and review it one by one, 16 patients. And if we are able to classify, then let's do it. If we're not, it just say abdominal mass, and then you can't do it. You can't. So yeah, at least give it a shot. Tell Megan this is what we want.
Okay.
She might give you access to take a look at it, or she might just copy paste it for you or something.
Sure. Number 5, they were asking for the primary site of the tumor, which has already been added to the supplemental table, so I think we can skip. Number 6, 3 patients died without disease progression. Was the cause of death unrelated to desmoid and treatment of desmoid? Median age was young, although the range extended to 82 years. Provide more context or details around the deaths. So this is the information here. How would you like to incorporate, like, should we just write this into the text, and do you want any other information in addition to this?
Second patient says related to tumor. That's contradictory, right? 3 patient without disease progression, so. Well, I think we have to just report, it was reported death related to primary tumor, although no radiographic evidence of disease progression was noted. Secondary cause of death
So,
was Gardner syndrome. Just
Mhm.
I would say,
Mhm.
I don't know the best way to put in the manuscript. You can make a table and put that in the supplemental table, and cause of death, patient number 1, 2, 3, and this was how it was reported or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So should we add it to the supplemental table that we have, or a supplemental table 2?
2.
Okay. Here also what your thoughts are on number 7.
So I agree with everything that is said. So reflect all that in the discussion.
Number 8.
So estrogen sex hormone levels were not checked. So endocrine adverse events were, I think, collected, but did they happen in patient with prolonged stable disease or respond? That we don't know. That's a question because it's in the aggregate results. So that let's ask Megan whether that phenomenon was seen or not. If it was seen, then per patient, what what did it look like? So you can do future studies like beta catenin, but then the hormone level monitoring during therapy or something. Yeah, that's what yeah. So I think we should just describe the fact. We show the objective response rate of such in, they don't want us to say there was an activity. So for all of you guys, the desmoid tumor is a very interesting tumor. Some tumors just regress with no treatment. So that placebo has 20% regression rate, which is crazy. And another trial has 8%. So yeah, take out whatever that says. Yeah, just reflect everything they want. It's okay.
Sure.
Dr. Chae, is it ethical to give cancer patients placebo treatment?
Oh, if you don't have anything better to do, you can give placebo.
I see. Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
so
if you exhaust all the options, then you can do placebo versus the trial drug. If you want to move the drug up, you can do standard of care plus placebo versus standard care plus trial drug. So that no one gets nothing, everyone gets at least standard of care. But if there's no standard of care, then it's usually best supportive care, which is, Zofran, morphine. So you don't want to call it no treatment. You call it best supportive care versus trial. Okay. Minor.
yeah, so this one again, I can just add. It's changing.
Yeah. They've added.
Sentences. Yeah. So yeah, that's all for the comments. I'll work on these and then I'll get you the revised version
Yeah.
for approval and then submit.
Yeah, just work with Megan to get the additional one so that we can. No, she's very busy. So
Yes, I'll send the email out today and then work on everything else too. That's it for now,
also,
and then
and then
there's
because Dr. Hesong is not in the lab anymore, all the other Dart pieces, just follow up to see where it is and what are we waiting and is it submitted or just go over that one more time and let me know in the afternoon where all the other papers are.
yeah, I'll take a look.
Yeah. And I think some of them are not submitted yet or has to be submitted. So yeah, so that's priority if it's not.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Yeah. Okay. Anything else?
That's it for me now.
Okay. All right, let's get 5-minute break and then do the journal club until 12. Yeah. Okay, let's start with Sue. Oh, wait. Brandon, wait, did you give us update on what you did before we do the journal club?
Yeah, I just only had like quick updates. I edited the metastastectomy paper with Dr. Wu, and we're going to meet after today's lab meeting to go over that. And then I did a couple of EDW patients, and I updated Sally on that before. And then I worked with Sally like a couple of weeks ago collecting data for Imagine AI, and then helped with writing some stuff. But then Sally told me that there's some challenges, so then we're going to probably work on it later.
Good. Dr. Wongi, where are we with the metastectomy project?
Yeah, we finalized the paper, and I want Brandon to finish one supplementary table.
Mm.
He finished about 50%, so I will share what he need to do. And we will prepare the formatting and submit to the journals. So I was waiting for Dr. Bharat's recommendation for journals, but I think I will just proceed on the list as we made before.
Mm.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Good job, Brandon. Okay, Sue.
Sure. This is a phase 1b trial on ctDNA analysis of neoadjuvant Nivo or Nivo plus LAG3 inhibitor, relatlimab, in resectable esophageal or GE junction cancer, which was published last month in Nature Medicine. So as a brief introduction, so there has been limited therapeutic advances in the management of resectable GE cancers, with majority of patients progressing within 5 years from diagnosis. And recent phase 3 checkmate trial led to the approval of adjuvant Nivo in completely resected esophageal and GE junction cancer with residual pathologic disease. And preclinical studies indicated that neoadjuvant chemoradiation therapy may have PD-L1 priming effect in operable cancer, supporting ICI added to the chemoradiation therapy. And there's limited data exists for the use of neoadjuvant PD-1 inhibitor in combination with chemoradiation therapy. And LAG3 is a co-inhibitory receptor that is highly expressed in GE cancers. So predictive versus prognostic role of ctDNA remains unclear. And they are saying preoperative ctDNA may identify individuals who can attain CR response, or post-operative ctDNA may identify patients with MRD and increased risk of disease relapse, which led to this study, and endpoints will be discussed. So study design, they included patients aged 18 years and up, with a stage 2 and 3 distal esophageal or GE junction adenocarcinoma or squamous cell carcinoma with surgically resectable, and be a candidate for standard of care chemoradiation therapy followed by surgery. So Arm A and B, they included 16 patients. So Arm A, they treated Nivo every 2 weeks for 2 induction cycles and then 3 additional doses given concurrently with chemoradiation. And Arm B was Nivo plus relatlimab every 2 weeks, just for the induction cycle, which is going to be discussed in the future slides. So primary endpoint.
So wait. Not given with chemo? Just 2 cycles?
So first 9 patients, they were doing the same thing with arm A. So they tried 2 induction and 3 additional, which led to the toxicity. So they had to amend the trial, just giving 2 doses of induction. So
Interesting.
first 9 did all 5, which led pericarditis and adrenal insufficiency. So they did change the trial.
Wow.
So primary endpoint is safety because it's 1B trial, secondary feasibility, and exploratory endpoints will be OS, RFS, NPR, CR, and analysis of ctDNA. So 16 patients each arm was included, with 1 patient were progressed and another had decreased performance, and 1 patient declined surgery. If you see the characteristic, there are predominantly esophageal adenocarcinoma, and there were no significant difference between PD-1 expression between both arms. So after the induction therapy, concurrent chemoradiation, they did surgery, and then post-op, and ctDNA was measured baseline day 14, day 28 as post-ICI, pre-op, and post-op. So clinical trial did meet primary endpoint of safety for arm A, but they did require an amendment in arm B to mitigate toxicity. Grade 3 or higher TRAs occurred in 31%. Immune therapy related AEs was 51%, although they were generally lower grade. Grade 3 or higher IRAs occurred in 8, 2 in arm A, 6 in arm B, and 4 led to the discontinuation, 2 with dermatitis, 1 with elevated OTPT, 1 with pericarditis. And so first 9 patients in arm B, they made the trial to amend the arm B, and so after that, the 7 remaining patients, they did not experience any IRAs related to the treatment hold or discontinuation. And no grade 3 or higher treatment related pneumonitis or ARS was noted. So CR rate was 40% in arm A, 21% in arm B, NPR was 43% in arm A, and 47% in arm B. You can see the CAP tumor regression, which means grade 0 means 0 residual, to grade 3, 51 to 100% residual tumor, which is color coded here. You can see it here. And gray patients were that previously declined surgery or PD or decline in the performer status. And by histology, for adenocarcinoma, CR rate was 30%, MPR was 50%, and for squamous cell carcinoma, 33% and 100%. And for PD-1 combined positive score, 37% was PDL negative, and others were positive. And baseline PD-1 expression was not associated with CR or MPR.
Okay, go back. We'll go back. So when you make write a clinical paper, this is how you should do the graph based on 2 groups, and you have CAP regression grade 0 to 3, and then you have MPR, PCR, the different colors. So so that you can actually visualize what's going on much better. And then the liquid biopsy time is here, and the recurrence, death, everything is there. So remember how to make these type of graph. And the next one. Yeah, here as well, there's all histology stage, OS, and then yeah, this is the first time I actually saw, because usually it's over 5 years, 10 years, yes or no. But here they made a color. It's a spectrum. OS and PFS are in the recurrence-free survival. It's probably a first um table that I ever seen it happen, but this is really good attempt to look at everything at the same time. HER2, PD-L1, leg 3, uh yeah, the log expression of leg 3 is here. Yeah, the ones who are really living longer, uh looks like CRs, a lot CRs, grade 1. I mean, so there's not a clear association. Um, so baseline PDL expression is not associated with PCR
No.
NPR. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So median RFS was 33 months in Arm A and not reached in Arm B. And overall 2-year survival rate, oh sorry, 2-year
Recurrence
median
free.
OS was not reached, yes, was not reached in either arm.
Okay.
And baseline PD-L1 CPS over 5 had longer RFS with p-value of 0.013. And patients who attained NPR had higher baseline LAG3 expression, which was mainly driven by the arm B. And there were no correlation between LAG3 expression and NPR or CR in arm A. And these findings suggest that LAG3 expression may be predictive of response to combined anti-LAG3 and anti-PD-1 therapy.
What about, but this is, what about so both so arm A, no, just driven by arm B. Okay.
Yes.
So this is known, high leg 3 expression, red latinate works better. Okay.
Yes. This is genomic alteration landscape. A liquid biopsy analysis revealed 47 alterations. Then prevalences were listed on the right with 31% P53, 11% ALK, 9% BRCA.
Okay.
This is a representative example of ctDNA kinetics. So B of the 20 patients with detectable ctDNA at baseline, 7 patients had undetectable at the post-ICI time point. If you say C, 60% patients with undetectable ctDNA pre-op, and D with undetectable ctDNA post-op. And E shows 2 patients that had ctDNA persistent throughout the pre-op and post-op sampling. And ctDNA dynamics captured the pathological tumor regression, while baseline ctDNA level did not correlate with pathological response. And detectable ctDNA at post-ICI correlated with residual tumor more than 20% at the time of resection.
So C was no recurrence. D, I'm sorry, T.
So D shows like 50% of patients with detectable so it's just a figure, and either they had longer RFS as shown here, saying that undetectable ctDNA post ICI, pre-op, and post-op were statistically significant.
Post, so AB is post ICI.
Yes.
And then
A included undetectable, B did not. And both ICI, CD is both pre-op, and E is post-op, and F is non-CR patients with undetectable ctDNA post-ICI that had longer RFS. So they're saying that this kind of findings highlight the challenges with PR in predicting long-term clinical outcome, and actually ctDNA might be a better tool in predicting it.
What about OS by ctDNA?
OS was not discussed. Yeah,
No.
they did not have figure related to the OS. They did show that OS was not significant with CR or MPR.
But what about ctDNA? ctDNA changes in OS. Did they look at it?
No, they did not show anything related to the OS.
Okay.
These are the new antigen-specific T cell responses, and they're saying that they can mirror the ctDNA kinetics. So this patient and this patient attained CR and ctDNA negative pre-op and post-ICI, and they had positive neoantigen specific T cell clone, as you can see here, and these four, while a patient who showed sustained ctDNA throughout the trial did not have any neoantigen specific T cell expansions.
So this is the major contribution of this paper. So neoantigen specific T cell clone was detected pre-op. A and B, go back. Yeah. So really good result. C, D is, if you clear it, so pool. So I'm trying to understand the B and D graph. Pool 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. What does a pool mean?
I was also curious about that, but they just said they got this positive, which is T cell clone specific. And for CD, these 4 clones are neoantigen specific clone expansion.
Also, oh, okay. Maybe this is, yeah, just a description of neoantigen. Okay. So neoantigen specific T cell response were a mirror image of. So this T cell, was this T cell harvested from the blood and they were tested to see if they were responding to neoantigen? Is that what they did?
Yes, they tested peripheral blood T cells for neoantigen recognition.
Uh-huh. Hmm. Okay. Okay. So these good results show that in the blood you can actually find neoantigen specific T cells. Okay. Next.
Yeah, so this is summary discussion at the same time. Arm A produced yeah, so safety, feasibility, and endpoint were met. However, Nivo and relatlimab had to that required modification to the adverse effect, and they're suggesting cardiac immune-related adverse effects may be related to LAG3 with concurrent radiation and defer to the further studies. And Arm A produced CR, NPR, and OS of 40%, 53%, and 75%. Arm B with 21%, 57%, and 93%.
And
So
can you go back?
improved
Go back.
survival.
So Arm A, just Niva alone is doing pretty good job of increasing it more about like 10%. And even overall survival. Yeah, and then higher PCR rate was not achieved for Arm B, but numerically the 2-year RFS was a little bit higher. So the trial told us LEG-3 radiation is not a good choice. So only marginal benefit of adding LEG-3 with PD-1. PD-1 seems to be really good, and I think this is the first study to show that ctDNA dynamic is linked with neoantigen T cell expansion. So that's why it got into Nature Medicine. Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, so improved survival in Arm B despite increased toxicity and worse CR rate may be consistent with increasing data across tumor types showing an association between immune-related AE and improved ICI efficacy. But they also say that potential improved efficacy in Arm B should be interpreted with caution and defer to the longer term follow-up and larger studies. And they also say that CR may not be a relatable surrogate endpoint for survival in operable GE cancer because multiple previous trials show that higher CR rate does not necessarily lead to the improved survival, suggesting the importance of micrometastatic disease control.
So here, so this so the paper and the PowerPoint that you made, how about send it to Liam, and then Liam, if you can send this to Dr. Jian and Dr. Sujong at Gyeongbuk University. They can learn from this paper because we are doing a very similar study at Gyeongbuk Daekyo with breast cancer patients. So I think they can learn from this paper. And we are seeing similar stuff here. We didn't do the T-cell study, but so Nivorella increased toxicity, but and let's say worse survival.
So numerically, they had better RFS and OS
Right,
rates.
but then
This is overall, so yeah.
Can you go back? Improve
Worse
survival.
CR.
Oh, worse PCR. So why was show me the PCR? Why was it worse?
So
30,
CR was 40% in arm A and 21% in
21%. Yeah, I think it's all numeric. I think the numbers are small. And I don't know how to explain why PCR, yeah, was low, but then it's yeah. So anyway, PCR, I mean that's the Path AI. Path AI is trying to figure out what is the best way to measure it using AI. But even if you do your best, not good enough because ctDNA seems to be performing better. And I do believe that's true. So this is the future, and a lot of you are doing EDW. This is exactly why we're doing what we're doing. We're trying to understand why neoadjuvant approach, which is pre-surgery chemo immuno, can do such a good job in terms of leading to cure, and what is the best biomarker to predict that from happening, so okay, so nice presentation. I think you did a good job going over all the relevant points and describing the figures. I think there's the nature, where's that? So how do you use genomic signature to assess who's going to respond to tumor or not, is the next question. So Sue, your next journal club is going to be, can we find the it's in the chat room. How do you chat? I put it in the chat room.
Yeah, I got it.
I put it in the lab, our lab messenger room as well. So the more you understand these papers well, the better you'll be able to understand the um the value of biomarkers and drug developments. Yeah. Okay. But good job. Any questions, Sue? No?
No, not really. I was just learning.
Yeah. Good. Okay, let's go to Rachel.
Let me share my screen.
Dr.
Oh,
Chae, are you okay on time?
before we, so my 12 o'clock meeting is canceled. There's a
Oh, okay.
on-host meeting at 1:30. For that, I think Liam and Sally can go in, right? And then ViewMedi recording is at 2. Is ViewMedi slide ready, Sally?
For which one? I was not notified of this.
So there's a ViewMedi recording session scheduled at 2 p.m. So I think one is the dream study. The second one, what was the second one, Sally, you were working on?
Hyperprogression.
Hyperprogression. Is hyperprogression slides ready? Because I gave you the sort of instruction to revise.
Mm-hmm. It's at 2:30, you said?
2 o'clock.
Okay.
Maybe we can do that. You can revise it for the 2 o'clock session. Okay. Yeah. Rachel, you can.
So the paper I read is just talk about the perspective of the hallmark of precancer. So I divide the contents to 5 parts. First one is introduction to precancer, what is the precancer is, and then next one is biological aging, the association between biological aging and precancer. Third one is regenerative mechanism driving epithelial transition in pre-malignancy. And fourth one is microenvironmental driver of precancer initiation progression. It includes like Western diet and obesity, something like that, includes everything. And then the last one is future perspective into precancer research. So despite advances in screening and treatment, cancer still remain on the leading cause of death globally. So that's why the cancer has their own like complex and heterogeneous nature, either from individualized and revolutionary like processes. So deeply understanding the biology of early pre-cancer lesions or the precancerous state is the key in here for to develop the highly effective treatment or intervention strategies. So precancers have a broad definition. So ranging from the at least normal tissues to overt lesion. So although overt lesion will show, it can exhibit the significant abnormalities in appearance, but other precancerous tissues appear normal, but we possess like molecular and cellular properties in the tissues that distinguish from normal tissues and cancer tissues. So yeah, there are like significant differences between like precancer in the at the middle of the normal tissues and cancer tissues. So distinct definitions studying precancers also present scientific challenges. So among the most significant challenges like is differentiating between advancing from non-advancing precancers, because only a low percent of the low percent of precancer progress to malignancy. So yeah. Next part is the association between biological aging and precancer. By far, the predominant factor in conferring risk for developing precancerous lesion is age. So we have to consider about the chronological age and biological age. The chronological age is determined by the calendar date of birth, and biological age is like based on age associated physical and in an individual, and it can be at the pace of more faster or slower. Everybody has different pace. So there are some mechanism. First one is telomere shortening. It is genetic alteration linked to aging. So telomere shortening is a consequence of incomplete replication of linear DNA molecule ends during the repeated cell proliferation. And yeah, so telomere shortening and somatic mutations are key genetic alteration associated with aging in at-risk tissues. And otherwise, somatic mutation burden also is related to the aging and precancer. So there are a popular hypothesis is that the telomere shortening in neoplastic cells, which activates telomerase to maintain the critically shortened telomere length, and it may drive further genetic instability, and then it can lead to cancer progression. And next one is epigenetic aging. So first one is characterized by methylation alteration. Second one is race-specific differences between them. For example, the higher incidence and earlier onset of tumor development in the right column of African American individual. So race-specific differences are there. Otherwise, because chronologic age is unalterable, but certain aspect of the biological aging can be modified. So lifestyle effects on biological age includes Western diet, high sugar diet, and meat consumption, obesity, alcohol, something like that. Everything can affect the aging, and then it can cause the precancer and progress to malignancy. Third part is regenerative mechanism driving epithelial transition in pre-malignancy. There are four, but first one is stem cell transformation. Abnormal growth is a hallmark of cancer, requires cell progressing toward the malignancy and transition toward a state with dysregulated cell proliferation. So first one is stem cell transformation, and the second one is metaplasia. It is a reversible and protective mechanism, but if the cell exposure to persistent risk factor, it can cause like persistent like metaplasia. It can be a risk of dysplasia, and then progress to malignancy. Yeah, and there are some more any otherwise abnormal growth of the cells and microenvironment factors such as genotoxicity and inflammation can contribute to cellular damage and precancer development. The fourth section is microenvironmental driver of precancer initiation and progression. So cytotoxic immune microenvironment and inflammation and senescence cells, stromal cell interaction. Immune system's ability to identify and eradicate abnormal cells is major component to prevent tumor development. So first one is cytotoxic immune microenvironment. It includes cytotoxic T cell and NK cell is a consistent feature in almost every precancerous tumor microenvironment. And second one is chronic inflammation. It can decline in adaptive immune response and contribute to precancer initiation and progression. Senescence cell is also can contribute to spread of senescence and modulate the microenvironment and impacting precancer development. And last one is stromal cell interaction. Dysregulated interaction between fibroblast and immune cells lead to shift from adaptive immunity to innate immunity and favoring precancer progression. The last section is future perspective into precancer research. A significant challenge remain in identifying and stratifying patients based on progression risk and understanding factors that favor or alter the immune system are significant challenges. And we have to figure out the more better methods to identify and stratify these to avoid overdiagnosis and overtreatment. And other challenge is also is to understand the factor that can be leveraged to favorably alter the immune system and striking the balance between inflammation and cytotoxic immunity to target tumor. So how macro environmental risk factor translate to molecular and cellular changes is essential insight for the development of the therapies effective against a tumor and precancer. So, and then also high resolution studies integrating multi-omics and special informations are needed. Yeah, the paper, the perspective from the paper is like that. And next topic is like this I discussed with Dr. Chae when I shadow you at your clinic.
Oh yeah. So this is a totally different topic. So can you screen or well, can you okay, you can upload file at our lab meeting, the actual paper, the PDF file. Can you upload the PDF file to our messenger room?
Okay, sure.
So Hanahan and Weinberg, the both cancer scientists, have written a hallmark review, hallmark of cancer. Now we have a hallmark of metastatic cancer. Now we have hallmark of precancer. So I recommend for your future presentation, use a lot of graphs and figures. I know you tried a few, but there's more titles and words. The figures, picture speaks 1,000 words. So
Yeah.
use that in your presentation. But can you upload it now? I just want you two guys to look at the actual paper and have time to, just skim through it whenever you have time. In transplant world, we've done a review paper, and Dr. Eugene O and Dr. Cho have written that. So as a lab, we are interested in blood transfusion or organ transfusion, organ transplant, increasing the risk of cancer overall. And that's an epidemiology question. But if you open this paper and look at the figures, you guys can all download and look at the figures yourself. But they try to draw like the 6 hallmarks of age, epigenetic, metabolomic, regenerative transition, and then immune surveillance, and remodeling of microenvironment mediated by senescent fibroblasts. So try to understand what they are. At least you have, but I think my main interest in immune surveillance. And that goes along with Dr. Won-gi and Haesung's paper. We need to actually reject cancer cells. If they turn into cancer cells, our immune system needs to identify them and reject it. And what hinders that from happening? So that's our main interest, but still understanding why. And a beautiful paper in Nature is I think Nature is Dr. Charlie Swanton's paper, where air pollution causes lung cancer, and he has shown a nice model, and in a normal lung epithelial cell, there's EGFR mutation already there. And with that, if there's air pollution microparticle causing inflammation, then it's a switch on to transform it into cancer. So yeah, so understanding this. So what's the endpoint? So what do we want to do? We want to prevent this process. Who are at high risk? So this epigenetic remodeling can be different by different ethnicity. So why does Korean woman, never smoker, develop EGFR lung cancer? What is the epigenetic reprogramming happening there? Can we target that? If we cannot target that, at least can we do low dose CT scan annually for this group? So what is the evidence? Chinese group have been, kind of generating the evidence, public health evidence behind that. Right now, it's only the smokers, right? So what's the evidence and what's the biological evidence, and how does ethnicity reprogram epigenetics? There's a lot of good questions, And if that is that epigenetic reprogramming T cells, does that affect it, and if it's in it and why is there some tumors more prevalent in women than men and vice versa? It's probably the estrogen or testosterone affecting T cells, affecting the epigenetic programming of the precancerous cells. We don't know what's happening, but Those are all good questions. So these review papers should make you guys think of a scientific phenomenon happening, and then what are the real world unmet need, and what is the best intervention, and then what is the best screening program for that. Maybe Sally would be interested coming out of NPH. What do we need to do anything different? And as a lab, Sue talked about ctDNA. When we do organ transplant, we always screen them for HIV, Hep B, Hep C, but why can't we do ctDNA for them? When the donors, I'm talking about donors. And what is the evidence? Do we have the current technological advances to allow that? So keep thinking about these questions and keep reading about these. I don't want our lab to be, spoon-fed. Oh, here's your project, do the Excel spreadsheet. Here you go. No, these, scientific questions are valid questions for you guys to keep asking and looking for your own answers. So I think coming out from our lab, I want you to be equipped with, critical thinker, asking good questions, and understanding what has been done so far. If you don't know what has been done so far in ctDNA world, you can't think straight. You have to understand where the field is first, then you'll be able to know where the high unmet need is. If you don't shadow me in clinic, you don't know where the high unmet need is. Like, what is actually patient dying from? What are their actual concerns? You get interested in toxicity issue, like LEG3 causes more side effects. Really? You never know until you do these kind of trials. Then what's the mechanism? How do we prevent that? And how do we, what is there about LEG3 and radiation? Is there some interaction there? Or is it just a random effect? There's so many questions coming out from a study. And is there a similar study that showed uh, 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 the same observation? So keep thinking, asking question is the best quality of the medical researcher. So, okay, I gave Rachel a question relevant for actual patients. So you can tell me what you found, and that we should end in next 5 minutes.
Okay.
So Rachel, you can talk about the cases.
Oh, you said prostate cancer?
Didn't you prepare slides?
Yeah, I did. Just fabricate. And I just as you mentioned, I just search about the consolidation therapy to compare the effect of at the prostate cancer and lung cancer. So consolidation therapy is the treatment that is given after cancer has disappeared following the insert therapy. And this one I read a few paper. It is about a paper about the non-small cell lung cancer. It published in Thoracic Cancer Journal, I think, and then published 2022. And LCT is localized consolidation therapy and non-LCT. As you can see, it shows LCT shows better survival rate. Yeah, and hazard ratio is 0.53, and p-value is less than 0.05. So it means it's meaningful result, I think. And then Second, this one is also I read the paper published at the JAMA Oncology Journal. This one is a little bit small small data, because first paper they include about 230 patients included, but second paper is 29 cases included. So, but it shows a similar pattern of survival rate. Yeah. And mainly I focus on, as you know, because my father's history, so I focus on prostate cancer. Actually, about the lung cancer, they just they are many there are main paper, but just about the oligometastasis, not multi-metastasis or something like that. So little bit different. This one is about the prostate cancer. Title is Improved Survival with Prostate Radiation in addition to ADT, androgen deprivation therapy for men with newly diagnosed metastatic prostate cancer. So it was similar in my father's history. It published at ASCO 2016. And it includes about 6,400 cases, and also include the patient group who has PSA level higher than 98, about 2,000 cases, and Gleason score also included between score 8 to 10, include about 5,000 cases. So as you can see, it shows better survival rate. And hazard ratio is about like 0.56 or 0.624 something. So it gave me meaningful input.
So what is different right and left?
This one is all patients, and then graph B is after propensity score matches. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Both graphs shows effective, statistically like significant. Yeah.
Okay.
And this graph also shows landmark of long-term survival rate. First, graph A shows limited to more than 1 year survival rate, and graph B is third year, more than 3 years. Graph C is more than 5 years. Every three graphs shows more better survival rate with the statistical significance. And lower
So
side
do
is
you
one
know when the radiation was given? Was it radiation given
after ADT, androgen deprivation therapy. So yeah,
What do you
it
mean
is.
after? So you start Lupron, and when do you give radiation? I want to know the difference between ABC. Was the radiation given at 1 year, 3 year, or 5 year?
No, I think this graph shows just how long the patients who get the consolidated therapy can survive.
Then what is the reason of doing landmark analysis, 1, 3, 5 years? So landmark means you select a group who are alive at 5 years, and
Yeah,
then look at their survival difference from that time.
yeah.
For these patients, when did they get radiation? At year 0 or at year 5? Year 3? Did everyone get concurrent radiation? Because Lupron, you never stop. If you start on Lupron, there's no stopping. Radiation, when is it given?
Oh,
So you have to know that.
yeah.
Is it always given at the same time when Lupron was started? I don't think so.
I don't think so. Yeah,
Everyone had received radiation at different time points.
yeah.
And what's the
Right.
distribution and when did they actually get it? And how was the analysis different according to that?
Oh,
So that's a really important piece of information.
yeah, right.
Okay.
Lower side, this graph shows divide the patient four groups and compare to each other. It shows like blue one prostatectomy plus ADT with radiation patient age more than 65 and who got the ADT therapy shows like more better survival rate than other two
The
groups.
radiation dose, 65 gray.
No, it is age.
Age?
Yeah. The diagnosis of the age of diagnosis.
But why is it GY?
Sorry.
Okay, actually, you just show me the paper in the afternoon. We don't have time.
Okay. You want to see the paper right now?
No, let's do it.
Okay.
Let's look at it next.
Okay. Oh, so next one paper just similar demographic, so just include higher level of PSH, the patients who has higher level of PSH, and also did ADT therapy with radiation therapy, hormone sensitive prostate cancer, yeah, Gleason score, similar demographic. This paper published from Johns Hopkins Experience Journal, so I just attached here. It also shows more better survival rate. Yeah.
So for
Yep.
the B is castrate
Yeah.
resistant, and I guess the hormone sensitive.
Yes.
Okay, that's not relevant to us.
Mm.
Okay, so what's your conclusion?
Actually for my father's treatment, I think for his age and the result from these paper, I think radiation consolidated therapy would be helpful for his treatment. I think will show hopefully show better survival rate. So my family decided to start the radiation therapy as a consolidated therapy.
So I would say what's the pro, what's the con, and if it's a hazard ratio of 0.7, so it's first of all, it's not a randomized study, and correct? Was it randomized? It's not randomized. It's a chart review,
Is
right?
Actually, I read too many papers. So,
So that's important. Is it
yeah.
a randomized study or is it a chart review? So I think it's a chart review.
Oh,
If you do retrospective study, there's a lot of papers that, so women's health study, Sally, do you know women's health study that looked at the hormonal supplementation for menopausal women? Dr. Wangi, you know the women's health study? So
I'm
they
not sure.
gave estrogen to people who are undergoing menopause and showed that their cardiovascular health, everything gets better. And there was a Harvard New England, big cohort. And at that time, I was a medical student, and everybody in OBGYN and family medicine was treating menopause as a disease and giving estrogen to improve their health. And there never was a randomized study. And then the randomized study result came out that actually giving estrogen was increasing cardiovascular death. So there's caveat to this, because there's bias, there's selection. And to overcome or at least try to overcome that, you do a propensity score matching. If you don't know what that is, no, go to Wikipedia and learn what it is. We do that all the time, but even with that, there's seems to be, and biologically it makes sense. You're kind of attacking the seed that's sending the metastatic breed to distant organs. So it's, I think it's real, but what's the downside of doing the radiation? And is there a downside? Maybe prostate inflammation. So, and if it is, and then what I would do is I would look at the NCCN guideline and then ASCO guideline, ASMO guideline, and what their recommendation level. If there's no, is there a randomized clinical trial? Then it's category 1 data. If there's no category 1 data, they might have their own category data. And look at the guideline, expert consensus, and in South Korea, if doctors are recommending it as like, oh, you can do this, or you may choose not to do this, I think it's fine either way. Then what do you think about this data? Like, do you believe this data is true? Well, I don't think this data is true. You can do it or you may not do it. Or what's the level of confidence with the data? So it's not clear cut. So you have to do deeper dive into the field. Where are we? What are we looking at? So on your next presentation, work on so give me answers to all the questions that I asked you. Improve on your presentation skills. Get more guideline data and other similar data, and there probably is a review paper. This is a big topic. So keep looking. It's a nice start, but let's see what you find. Okay. Any questions?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay, so we will wrap up here. Christopher, thank you for joining. And yeah, Brandon, good to see you again. And yeah, we'll wrap up here and we'll have next meeting on next Tuesday. Yeah, and Dr. Wongi, I'll see you in my room after this. All right, take care. Bye.